Hello everybody and welcome back to Manor Lords, where we are working on getting our fields a little bit better set up here. There definitely needs to be more work done on those. We're also working on potentially getting this mining pit over here operational, just so that we can get the iron out of here. That would be very good to do. So the same thing is going to happen with this clay deposit and this stone deposit. That's all going to be fairly slow. So this storehouse has not been upgraded. We're definitely going to want to do that. Noted. Okay, so that's a little bit of work that needs to happen over there. As far as this goes, we're mostly just waiting on crops to grow and the like. However, I did notice that we have a lot of equipment missing right now, including war bows, which is intriguing, because if we look in our storehouse, we've got 567 war bows. So, there's that. So the question is, how much of this equipment is actually missing? And I think the answer to that is not as much as you might think. 15 out of 36 spears, allegedly. But we have plenty of sidearms, and we might actually be missing some halberds. So if I go over to the blacksmith shop and we tell them, okay, we should be working on halberds, I think that we don't have any iron, is I think the issue here. So that requires refueling, but I'm 99% certain that we have no iron here at this point. So that means that we should start importing some iron here. And we were always going to need to import iron slabs, right? That was always going to be a thing. So I want to import, and I want to have a surplus of like 3. We don't need to have a whole lot of them, but something along those lines. Okay. So that'll be fine. And a lot of this is, I think, less of a thing than you might think. Because we definitely have the shields, we definitely have the sidearms for the militia footmen. No doubt about that. Recruits missing for our retinue, that is absolutely true. And I'm wondering how we actually replenish these, but I think we just need to grow our size a little bit. Another thing I was thinking about doing was building another farmhouse, like out over here. And then have this farmhouse be assigned to this work area, and this farmhouse be assigned to this work area. Because I feel like we don't have enough people working our fields over here, even with 8 families assigned to this farmhouse and 2 permanently assigned oxen. I feel like that's not enough. So these fields out over here would need their own farmhouse, and I think that we should probably do that. So that is going to be a farmhouse going in, like, somewhere out over this way, perhaps? Or, like, out here. Yeah, we'll put it in there. So that's okay, and we're definitely going to want to get some more burgages down over this direction. We can expand the living space here, apparently, which seems decent, but more burgages up this direction do seem necessary. So we're going to further expand this to about, I would guess, here or so. That should be sufficient, but why won't it let us build this? Well, it seems to think that that's illegal. We have the timber. It won't let us do that either. Okay. I'm not sure why we're not allowed to do this. It looks like it's trying to tell us that we are missing the... We're missing the timber. We are not missing the timber. That's then invalid. I wonder if it's this start point. Let's try putting it here. And then bringing this up to, like, here instead. This point should be here. And then bringing this up to approximately here or so. That's then invalid. Okay. So what if we're out over here, like this? Is that valid? That's valid. So there's clearly some sort of a problem with our snapping over here. Okay. That's noted. So if we put it here as a hypothetical, and we put in 4 burgage plots here, that's valid. We'll allow it. Okay. So we'll get going on that. That seems absolutely fine. So this farmhouse over here is going to be highest priority. I want to get that done ASAP. We're probably going to pull a couple of families from here. And we're going to need to have some additional fields over this way, most likely. Or we could condense these fields down a little bit. That'll be after the harvest, though. For sure. Alternatively, we could just not have limited work areas. And just put a couple more families into this farmhouse out over here. That is a theoretical option, and I think that's a pretty good option, to be honest. Okay, so let's check in up over here real quick. We've been exporting quite a lot of iron slabs. I want to check in on our bloomery here. Yeah, we've got lots of iron slabs here, and we're exporting here and importing here. So that should be reasonably okay. Storage is full in the deep mine up over here. Okay, I want to check in on this storehouse. Yeah, it'll be full for a little bit there, I think. But we'll start exporting fairly soon. We are set to export those slabs, right? Yeah, we're only supposed to keep 20 around. We've got 37 right now. So that sounds good. We're going to do a trade here. The real question is, can we continue to have the regional wealth going up here with that trade happening? That is indeed a question. We've only got one person in this trading post for right now. We might need to have another family here, but for the moment, that seems reasonably okay. So we're continuing to plow these fields. Where are our oxen? Here's one. And here's... okay. Our other oxen are hauling logs. I guess that's fine. Yeah, we've got a fair number of oxen hauling logs over here. That's fine. They're going to head over to this farmhouse. So we just finished up a burgage plot level 1. That was the expanded living space down over here. That is fine. That, of course, means that we can grow our population here. And growing our population is not going to be a food problem exactly, because we are going to be expanding our field work, which of course means that we'll be producing additional food. So that is absolutely fine. Now, up here, these guys are still very slowly plowing this field. Understood. And then they're going to start sowing this flax field here, which, you know, is kind of a mediocre field to be sowing, but whatever. Enemy unit has been spotted. Ooh. 4 units of brigands. Okay. So 4 units of brigands is a lot of units of brigands. Recruits missing for this retinue. So why do we not have people going into the forces here, is the question that I have. Well, this archer militia is good to go. That's in Nuslo, so that's understood. Our issue is in Waldbrand. We have recruits missing in all of these areas, and that's probably because we have too many of these. So that's understood. We could customize this retinue. But for the moment, I don't think we need to do this. So our archer militia here is lacking recruits. We're lacking recruits for a lot of these. The spear militia, on the other hand, is apparently lacking equipment. However, I know for a fact that we have 9 additional spears, actually 6 additional spears, in the large storehouse. And I also know that we have 561 shields here. So that's not actually a problem. So there's definitely shields. Oh, wait, these are small shields. We need large shields for that. This one is recruits missing. Okay, so we need to go over to our joiner's shop. And we need to have this be producing large shields for right now. However, we need to raise up all of the forces we're allowed to raise, which is going to be all but 2. Yeah, so all of these, with the exception of these guys, all of these are going to need to be raised. And we're going to have them rally here. Okay. So over they go. And they're going to have to move pretty quickly here. Excellent. These guys just immediately had no fatigue. Okay, that's exciting. But we got to get up here, and we got to do it quick. So where are these guys going? They are already down over here. Okay. They're moving very, very swiftly indeed. Our forces are on the way over, but there's only so much that we can do here, right? We've got a retinue. We've got one archer militia here. Our forces are on their way, though. Okay. So these spearmen are lagging pretty far behind. The royal tax has been increased. Okay. So we want to immediately begin... Well, let's hold off on that, actually. Let's get these two archers set up right here. Let's get the retinue and the militia footmen directly ahead of them. Like that. Now, the spearmen over here, they need to make their way in still. So they're on their way over. Okay. So the archers are going to begin archering very shortly. I want to make sure that these guys are running. Okay. So these guys are going to be in range soon. All of the brigands have decided to come attack us, but our archers are beginning to do work here. Excellent. We've got 2 units of archers pelting these guys. Question is, how far away are those spearmen? The answer is quite. Noted. Okay, so archers are continuing to do work here. We can get a couple more salvos before we want to get these guys engaging them. One more salvo. Okay. Now I'm going to have these guys be attacking this force up here. There's a lot of brigands here. Like a whole lot of brigands. Okay. Get in here and fight them. Beautiful. I want you guys now firing on these brigands that are far out there. Start whittling them down a little bit. Where are those spearmen? They are so far away still. Spearmen, why are you walking? You're supposed to run. Oh, because they're out of fatigue. Right. Get up here. We need all the help we can get right now. We have done a lot to these brigands with our archers. The question is it enough? Because numbers are a bit problematic for us. The melee has started up, and our retinue here, not doing so well. I'm going to pull our archers back to here, because that retinue is going to be done very shortly. Okay. They are ignoring our militia footmen here. However, that force was broken. Okay. They're hitting our archers. Get in here. Looks like we broke this force. So there's only 2 of them remaining. These guys are now broken. Charge in the rear here. Only 1 force left. Who needs these spearmen anyway? They're so far away still. They're still not running. Run! There you go. Okay, so we broke all of these forces. That's fine. We did lose this retinue. That's not shocking. And this militia can immediately be disbanded. These guys, on the other hand, they're going to have to make their way back to our territory. So the spearmen never managed to get there, but we did manage to successfully defend our territory. But there was some loss. No doubt about that. Those brigands, bit of an issue. But we're working on dealing with it. So that seems fine for now. So these guys are going to be disbanded as soon as they can be. Yeah, they need to get back into their home region, and that's fine. So let's just wait until these guys are back in their home region. We'll disband them. These guys are back in their home region. We'll disband them. And we're just waiting for these guys to arrive. There we go. Okay, so successful defense, although we did lose some people. Understood. Now, down over here, we have these fields at this point. That's sown, and this is sowing. Okay. It's not going to be great in terms of output, but it's fine. We knew that this wasn't going to be great this year. Now, out over here, I'm going to assign a family to this farmhouse. We could add a plowing station, which I'm going to do. I'm not going to do permanent oxen assignment over here, but we will keep a family out here. Now, let's check in on what's going on down here. Pantry is full in the forager hut up this way. That's fine. That's a good thing, to be honest. We may want to assign a family to the granary to move some of that around, though. Okay, so that seems good. This is fully sown and is now growing. Yeah, that looks excellent. So we're going to get a lot done there. This windmill, we're going to want to have somebody in, and the communal oven, we're going to want to have a family in as well. But for the moment, this is fine. We can expand the living space here. We can expand the living space here. So in both cases, that is absolutely okay. Cool. So we're going to have more families looking to move in over here. We've got 9 months of supplies. We've got 4 months over here. Most of that is food. We are going to have a good-ish wheat harvest over here. Good-ish. Definitely in the ish category. Okay, so family members are coming on in here. We are working on getting these fields sown. We're not going to get much production out of it, to be honest. But we'll get a little bit. Well, we'll get 40 out of this field. I guess that's okay. So this farmhouse is going to be finished up eventually as well. That all looks reasonably fine. So let's check in on our army situation here. So we're still lacking some spears here, allegedly, but that's recruits missing. Recruits, 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 equipment here. Now that's the polearm militia, and we know that we told our blacksmith, this guy here, to be producing polearms. We have to wait for iron slabs to be traded for that to actually happen, but we do have the planks, and that will be absolutely fine. Presumably that negative there was some iron coming in. I can see that our regional wealth here is not great, though. So what do we want this region to export? Well, in theory, sheep should be okay to export. Or at least lambs should be. Our sheep should slowly multiply, right? We have currently 10 sheep here. So that seems fine. We're just going to let that continue to grow for the moment. We do have a few things that we could theoretically export from here. Like, for example, we could export planks. Which we are. And we should probably consider putting another family into our trading post. We do have enough housing to have... Actually, we don't have enough housing to have any growth right now. So we should wait on that until some of this housing gets built. Okay. That seems reasonably fine for the moment. And these fields are good to go over here. They are growing. Yeah, we're going to have lots of wheat coming out of this field. I like it. That is wonderful. So, I do want additional burgages to be made here. I'm going to put a road through here, I think, or we could just make the burgages without the road. That's probably for the best. We would bring this in to be... I hate it. Okay. We would bring this in to be like this. No, not like that. I want this that we have here. So that would go about here, and then it would go about here. Plot too small? Okay. So we would need this to come down over here or so. No, this is not what I want it to do. I want it to build it right here. No. Stop it. It doesn't know which way we want this to build. Okay, so I'm going to take a road through here, and we'll put the road about there as a divider. Then what I want to do, I hope there's enough room here. We'll see. I want to put burgages like this. That'll work. Okay, we'll get those going. Sounds good. Absolutely wonderful. So what else do we need to do at this point? Well, we need to have some additional population growth, that's for sure. We need to get the recruits set up over here. We have recruits missing in our retinue, and I'm not sure exactly how we get those back. I've never been able to replace retinue troops thus far. So I'm wondering if perhaps we need to customize them here? Promote one of your citizens to your retinue, locked in early access, or we can recruit men-at-arms. Pay from your treasury to hire a retainer who already owns basic military equipment. Okay, so that's 50 gold. And we can have, what, 12 of these? That's a pretty hefty amount. I'm going to bump us up to a 5% land tax in this location. I think here we should remain at a 3%. I'm a little concerned about our regional wealth, but I think if we have more people in our trading post, I think that'll be okay. We could consider ordering a horse for our trading post, which might not be a bad idea, to be honest. But I would like to generate some additional gold here. That pretty much means that we need to get some of these burgages down here finished. So that is all reasonably fine. So this is going to get us a number of families here, and then we can probably think about additional burgages out over here, although it would be like this or so. Yeah, something like that. Okay. We're still working on getting this mining pit cleared out. That's not done yet. This up here hasn't even been started, nor has the stone deposit. All of that is completely understood. We will get there. So we do have someone working in our granary right now. That's fine. We have 2 families in the farmhouse over here. We're working on building additional housing over this way. We're trying to keep our housing relatively compact in this area. So that'll be fine. Over here, we did not try to do that. We tried to do the exact opposite. This is sown. Okay, we're going to get 15 barley out of it. That's not too bad, I suppose. 8 flax here, 32 wheat here. Yeah, it's not ideal, but it is fine. So we finished up one of our burgages down over this way. We're going to continue to grow over here. That looks fine. What we really need is some treasury. I don't suppose there's a bandit camp around. Negative. And I think that bandit camps don't spawn in controlled regions. That's my theory. But we definitely need to work on getting our people recruited up. No doubt about that. So we're going to have to... Oh, the retinue is up to 24 here in Waldbrand because of this tower. Right. So the outer tower... The garrison tower increases retinue size by 12. This is garrison space. So the the garrison tower is really the only thing that we really need. And we should probably put in a garrison tower here as well. Like that. So we'll commit to that. We'll get that built eventually over here. We have 2 unassigned families right now. We have a family in the windmill. We have a family in the communal oven. So I think that we maybe should put... We have 3 in the farmhouse. Where else do we need a family here? That's an interesting question. We have a communal oven here and a communal oven here. We don't need both of these. I'm going to demolish this communal oven. Efficiency down. I don't know what the efficiency of this windmill is, but apparently removing that windmill reduced its efficiency. Okay, whatever. It should be okay. That's the efficiency of that is a relatively minor thing, I think. Does that affect processing speed or actual yield, I wonder? That's a good thing to know, but I don't actually know that offhand. So we've got 3 families currently unassigned. I'm going to assign 2 of them to our farmhouse. There we go. Now this field is currently fallow. That is absolutely okay. Out over here, we've only got 1 available family. These burgages are being worked on. That looks good. Okay, well, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to work on getting all of these villages good to go. Our primary focus right now is on getting our military set up properly. So that is something that we will definitely be working on. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy Magar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Tommy, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.